Most people today really want to be entertained more than being taught. Well, here's one way of entertaining and teaching at the same time. Let's look at this quick example.
Using Powtoon.
That little gem of a video was actually created using an application called Powtoon. You'll find it at www.powtoon.com. Let's think of Powtoon as PowerPoint on steroids. Let's take a closer look about how to use Powtoon to create visual images, sounds, and music for your audience. Once you've created your account with Powtoons, which is a very simple process, basically, who are you, can they find you, like setting up with any other application that you find online, you will be given an option to create a new project. And as you can see, I actually have a spot where I have already started one project. This is the project that we're going to continue to work on today. But when creating a new project, you will actually be given the option of starting from scratch or customizing a ready-made Powtoon. I would suggest when first starting out, practice for a while using the customized feature where they give you an option of a display that has already been created, and you just go in and type in to change the text or to change the picture. I found that very helpful for starting out and playing with. Once you get your hands a little bit dirty and you're ready to really create something, go into the start from scratch mode. As I stated, I have already started a wonderful little presentation called Pandas Rule the Media Center. So I'm going to go in and actually edit a few of the slides that I created. And yes, this does back up every 5 minutes, but I'll give you a hint. As you're working, every time you make a change, go ahead and hit the save button. Don't wait and rely on the backup. As you can see, I am now on my Powtoon palette, or my panel and interface screen. This is where you find all the tools and nuts and bolts that you will be working with when creating a video or a presentation or a movie using Powtoon. You will see that you have a variety of items that you will be working with, including your timeline, your palette screen, and your animations. Again, if you want to just try a few simple things, you can start working in the simple mode, and once you get the feel of how this program works and get a little bit of experience, then you can move over to the customized mode. You have a few more options in the customized mode than, of course, what you have in the simple mode. But in both modes, you have characters, you have text that you can add, backgrounds. As you can see, I chose this pretty purple and pink because I am a little girly here. You can add shapes, graphs. You can even upload your own images. You can have sounds like that little music that I had playing in the background. Or you can actually audio tape yourself, your own voice, your students' voices, or any other sound that you want to later import into your presentation. Since I have done most of the work already with this, I just want to tweak it a little bit. And what I realized when I went back to look is that I had not put in a title screen. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. There are a few ways in which you can go about adding a slide to your presentation. Your presentations will always start off with just one slide for you to begin and adapt to. But if you want to have more than one slide, which is advisable, you can always use the little plus button here to add a slide, or you can come down here to this icon to add a slide, and also use this one if you want to add a slide with a different layout. I, of course, am just using this basic layout just for purposes of demonstrating how to use Powtoon. When you introduce a new slide to Powtoon, you will see that it already has a standard 10-second bar. You can adjust the time, adding more time or less time, up to 20 seconds. Before we really get started on this, thinking about the time that you have with working in this 10-second frame, there are two schools of thought about creating your slide. One thought is create your script, write down everything that you want to say, find all the characters that you want to use, and your background music. And if you're going to do an audio recording of your own voice in this Powtoon, you'll want to go ahead and audio tape yourself using Audacity or any other type of recording program. Then you can assemble by layering, and that's really what we're doing with all these different objects, is layering the objects. You can start by putting your sounds in first and then making your characters appear, disappear, move, whatever actions you want in time with your pre-recorded voice. Another school of thought for some people, usually visual people, is that you want to get your characters on the screen first, your objects, your movement, your text writing, and then you want to add the audio to it so that your audio will follow along with your actions. I'm more the person, I want to see what I'm doing and then adjust my vocals or my audio section. As I was saying just a few moments ago about the timing on your slides, they start off with 10 seconds. I've already shortened this just to a 2-second, but this also means I can click this little plus button and add time, or I can take away some time. I'm going to go ahead and give myself plenty of time for working, so I'm going to give myself a 12-second screen. Later on, I'll come back and adapt that and shorten the time for what I need. Since my theme is Pandas Rule the Media Center, I'm going to come over here to my library where I have already pre-selected their pre-selection of characters being pandas. You can also go into the search bar, and if you want some other type of character, you can put in a search for another type of character. Like I said, I want pandas, and when I hover over the different pandas, I get different panda pictures, so to speak. Some of them show emotions or actions or activities. In this case, I think since I'm welcoming everybody, I'm going to choose my panda here, and I'm going to choose my Hello Panda. And by clicking on that one, he automatically appears on my screen. If I find I don't like him, I hit the switch button and change him to a different pose. Swap him out for another character, or flip him. I don't want him waving with his right hand. I want him to wave with his left hand. I can also move him around if I want to. Up, down, right, left, just put him wherever on the screen that I want him to be. Well, now that I have my happy little panda here on my screen, I want to add some text. And like I said, this is the title of my presentation. So I'm going to hit text, come up with a text box, and I can double click the box. See, it's highlighted, so I can just start typing and it's going to replace the words with, of course, pandas. Oh, yep, there I am. Rule the Media Center. At this point, I can change the color of the font. I can highlight it and change it to any color in the color scheme here. But I'm going to stick with my white. It's hard to see white on a white stomach, so I'm going to just highlight it and move it down to the bottom. I've caught myself with a little mistake. I meant to capitalize a word. So, of course, with any typing program, Word or PowerPoint or whatever, I'm just going to go back, hit the back button, Shift, put the correct R in there. Now that was very simple to do. Well, I want something more than just my little panda standing there and waving at everybody. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add a little different entrance time. I'm going down here to my time zone. I'm removing the red triangle because that's where my animation is going to start. I want my panda bear to come in at a different time than my text will come in. So I'm going to click my panda bear, and you see these little arrows that come up? These are my animation arrows. And this is where I can click on the animation and I can use the hand, actual physical person's hand, to bring my stuff in or out of the screen. I can have it fade in, pop in, up, right, left, down, or have no effect at all. I'm going to start off with my hand, and he's going to come down. He's going to bring my panda bear in a downward motion. I don't want him to come in on the very beginning of my screen, so I'm going to give him a couple of seconds of movement right there. And you see where the hand is? I'm at this point also going to go to the far right side and again hit the arrow using the hand. You notice if it has a red slash through it, you're not using the hand. If it has no red slash, you are using the hand. And this time, I'm going to bring him up. And I'm going to shorten his time on the screen so he exits out actually at about 8 seconds. Now remember what I said about saving? I'm going to keep saving even though this application will auto-save. I really like to save more often than what the program likes to save. Now let's look at one other option. If I wanted my text to also come in and out, similar to the way my panda bear has, I could do the same thing with clicking this box and then of course going in to have his motions in and out. Same time as the panda, different time as the panda. Let's take a real quick look right now at what is going on with this one particular slide, making sure that I have clicked to make sure that this is what's going to appear when I hit the play button. And as I saw with my first screen, it was definitely longer than I wanted it to be. So again, I'm going to come back and I'm going to subtract a couple of those seconds there. I know that this has seemed like a very rushed introduction, but that's really what I'm giving you right now. It's just an introduction to Powtoon so that you can come in on your own, play with the different options. Try the different characters, try the different backgrounds, text, images, music, videos. Yes, you can import your own videos. Take the time to play with a few of these different options so you will learn to use Powtoon comfortably. Thank you for your time.
Created using Powtoon.